I created this AI automation that scraps dozens of websites, and in less than a minute, it generates tons of fresh content ideas right on my spreadsheet. And the best part, you can build this AI automation yourself in just a couple of minutes. The automation tool we are going to be using is called Bardeen, and in some ways it is way better than Mac.com or Zapier, particularly because it has a built-in web scraper and ChatGPT, so you don't have to pay for OpenAI API. So if you want to build a content idea generator like this, whether it's for your blog, YouTube channel, or your social media account, follow along and I promise you this is gonna be easy. Let's get into it. Alright, to get started, the first thing you need to do is to open the Bardeen's website. You can use the link in the video description to get started and then click Get Started for free. So basically, it will redirect you to the Chrome's extension website because this tool is basically running on your browser, especially for a Chromium-based browser like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Brave, and many others. After that, you have to install the extension to your browser, and when the extension has been installed, I highly recommend to pin the extension right to the toolbar so it will be easier to access. You can click on this extension menu and then click Pin on Bardeen. Now we can start creating a web scraper that will scrape tons of websites, especially news sites from Google News, and then we want to generate content ideas from those pages. Now let's find a topic that we want to generate. I'm going to search on Google Mistral AI, and I'm going to visit the news section of Google search, and this is the list of pages that we want to extract the information from. So let's open Bardeen, click on the extension icon right here, and then click Create Automation. So basically, Bardeen has an AI that helps you build an automation by just describing the task that you want to accomplish. But I highly recommend to avoid this feature because sometimes it's not very accurate, and also you need to understand the basic or the fundamental before you can actually using this automation. So I highly recommend to start with blank canvas. The first thing you want to create is the scraper tool. So just click Scrape and then click Scrape Data on Active tab. Now on this first field, you want to create new scraper template, and I want to use this search result on Google News. I'm going to select I will build myself. Now we have to select either to choose single page or list or table. Basically, single page is for selecting multiple different elements once, while list or table is selecting or extracting multiple different elements multiple times. Obviously, because we want to extract pages from multiple links in this Google News search page, we want to select this option. Click list or table and then give it a name for this scraper. You can give it a name like Google News Scraper and then click Save. Now we have to tell the tool about what element that we want to extract. So we have to click the first link like that, and then we have to do it again because now it's still asking the other element but the same kind, which is the second link. Now it understands the link that it should extract from this page. Now we have the option to either choose no pagination, click pagination, and infinite scroll. Essentially, if you want to scrape multiple pages, you want to select this option, click pagination. After that, it will ask you where is the next page button, and in that case, you have to select this next button on Google. But in my opinion, no pagination is just good enough because a lot of times 10 pages in Google News first page is just good enough to provide you with the newest information. So for the sake of simplification, I'm going to select no pagination, and there you go. Now it's time to extract those elements. We want to extract the article title and also the article link from this page. So I'm going to click this title and click Get Text and click Get Data. You'll see that this is basically all the titles from this page. Now give it a label like article title, and now we have to do it one more time, but this is going to be extracting the links from those titles. So let's do it again. I'm going to click this link and click Get Link and Get Data. Let's give it a label article link. When you're done, click Save Template. So that's basically our first scrape template. Now this is where you can set the number of links that you want to extract from this page. By default, it will extract all the links that is detected in this page. But for this example, I'm going to just limit the number of extraction to 5 pages. Just click done, and we are ready for the second step or the second action. Now click this plus icon and click new action. And here we want to get the page as HTML. So just type get page as HTML. Click this option that says get page as HTML. And then for the with URL, you want to select action number 1 and then select article link. Basically, this second step will get the link from that page and visit that link. And just click done. And we are ready for the third step. Click new action again. And we want to convert those HTML files into text file. And after that, we can feed that data to AI to be processed. So we want to convert that HTML to text. Yeah, use convert HTML to text, and then we want to get the data from action number 2 and select website contents and click done. Now we are ready to use ChatGPT to process those data into usable text. Click plus icon again, click new action, and you can click custom OpenAI prompt or something like that. Yeah, get custom prompt to OpenAI. This is where you can type your prompt for the data. I'm going to give you one example, and let's paste the prompt right here. Now the prompt is, this is an article from a website. Please clean it up from anything that is not the main part of the article. And after that, we can insert the converted HTML to text that we just created from the step number 3. So click insert and select the action number 3. And there you go. But this is not complete. We still need to tell the AI about what to do from this content. Just add another line and we are going to add another prompt, and there you go. Your task is to read through that article, understand the main points, and then suggest 5 YouTube video ideas based on that. Be direct, don't use subtitle, don't use dash or colon. Use a personal tone on the title. Just give me the titles in a numbered bullet point format, nothing more. You can change this number to any number depending on how many items you want to get per extraction, and then you can choose whether you want to use this for blog post, YouTube video, or social media posts, etc. And now we can jump to the next step, which is choosing the temperature level. It ranges from 0 to 1. 0 means very deterministic, while 1 means very random, or I would call it more creative. For this example, I'm going to select point A, and then for the model, you can use ChatGPT, GPT-3, or GPT-4. It's totally up to you. I think ChatGPT-4 is the most advanced, and click done. After that, click add another action, and then we want to send this data to Google Sheet. So add rows to Google Sheet. This is the one that we have to add. By the way, if you haven't connected your Bardin account to Google Sheet, you have to give it permission and you're set. After that, you can create a new spreadsheet right from Bardin. But personally, I'm much more comfortable creating a spreadsheet right on Google Sheet. So I'm going to open a new tab and create Google Sheet right there. Click blank spreadsheet. Let's call this one Google News Content Ideas Generator. And this is going to be article title and article link, and for the third column I'm going to call this content ideas. This is where the titles will be generated, and we are done with the spreadsheet. Let's go back to the previous step and select the file that you just created here and select Google News Content Ideas Generator. This is the file that we just created right here, so we are going to choose that, and the tab is essentially just sheet number 1, so we don't have any tab. This is referring to this tab from the spreadsheet. And the table, it's going to be easier because we have created a label for our scraper and also our spreadsheet. It's going to be easy to pair. So article title is obviously just article title from the action number 1. Select article title, and for the article link it is the same. Scrape data from the number 1 and click article link. And for the content ideas, we want to get the data from ChatGPT. Click here, and we want to get a custom prompt OpenAI that is from the action number 4. And click done. And that's basically it. We just created a workflow that is only 5 steps, but we need something to trigger the whole automation. Fortunately, Bardin allows you to just trigger everything with just one simple click. So right before the very first action, click here, and then we want to trigger with when something happens. And the one that I want to choose is when I right click on a website. I'll select that and just give it a name for this right clicking menu. I think I'm going to call it Start content ideas research, and then it's visible on everywhere. And let's click done. This is the whole automation workflow, and let's click done. Let's call it Google News Content Ideas Generator and click save. So we just created an AI automation using Bardin, but we need to enable it first. So click on this icon to enable this menu, and there you go. So the right click menu is available and we can use it to start the whole automation. And let's click anywhere to close Bardin. Just to give you a demonstration, this is a page that we want to scrap first. Right click anywhere on the page and then click here, click Bardin, and then select the label that you just generated to trigger the action. Just wait a couple seconds and it will start. It is running directly in your browser, which is a good and bad thing at the same time, because the good thing is you don't have to pay for those expensive web scraper. But the bad thing is sometimes you will see that new pages or new tabs is popping up because Bardin is actually doing its action. Personally, I think it's not really a problem given that it only happened for a few seconds up to a minute, and not to mention it's going to make the whole automation a lot simpler and much more controllable because it is happening right before your eyes, and it's very unlikely to be detected as a bot because after all it is running right with your browser. Now as you can see, some links from this page is now turned purple, meaning that they have been visited right using your browser. And if you go back to Google Sheet, you will see this is the content ideas that have been generated using the automation tool that we just created. Pretty cool, right? And this will work on any keyword on Google News. If I change the query to SpaceX Starship launch, and I just need to right click anywhere, click Bardin and start the content ideas research. And when it is done, you will see new rows added to your spreadsheet. The next thing we can do with this is to create content out of it. And if you want to generate AI content that's actually good, click this video and I'll see you there.